Oh no, not giving him that. Not giving him that because he's not here.
Man, so
Happy
let's see.
Memorial Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy Memorial Day weekend. What are your plans?
Well, I got drunk last night. I think I'm gonna
see.
get drunk again tonight, and then get drunk tomorrow,
Huh.
and then sleep Monday away.
Wait, yeah. So wait, but I was gonna ask you off air, but I guess you could tell me
Nah,
now.
go ahead,
What
ask away.
Yeah, no. What are you all doing today after this?
After this, I am going to take Marilise back to her bed. Ooh.
She said, "Pause." And tuck her into what do you mean?
No, it's a little horn to be tucked into some sheets, but
It is. She's
but,
like, spare me.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna take Marilise back home so she can recover, and I'm gonna take my mom to the grocery store.
Okay.
Then I'll probably watch the Milwaukee Bucks and the Toronto Raptors.
Sean's got the most wholesome then debaucherous.
Yeah, because
days.
after that, then I'll probably go buy
took my
5
grandma
bottles of
to
club.
church, and then I
I'm
went
gonna go knit a sweater for Nanny.
and then I got real fucked up with the stripper.
Yeah, I'll probably after that I'll probably go buy bottles in the club and do ratchet shit.
Eat some
With your
spaghetti next to a
friends.
stripper.
Yeah, and send. I told
That's
Lisa's.
sloppy. That's very sloppy.
Yeah. So what's funny is y'all can't see Lisa, but she's currently dying a slow death to my right.
Yeah, she keeps leaning off to the side.
Guys.
Like
Yeah,
she's resting her
she's
head
dying.
on her shoulder.
Yeah, she's dying a slow death. But I told her that she must come out for the bottle extravaganza later.
No, I'm straight.
Yeah,
And
no.
she's saying no. But I told her I'm going to show up to her door with 2 outfit choices that I'm going to go pick out for her and say, which one do you want?
Well, yeah, I mean, but what's happening tomorrow? You're
That's
doing a thing.
yeah, we're not going to talk about that on air.
Okay.
Because
All
it's
so you
supposed to
said
be
air it out
private.
on air.
No, I'll say this. It was supposed to be private.
But we're basically doing something fun tomorrow that's very exclusive.
We're doing a
and
private
you will
party
probably
tomorrow.
know later on after we do it first.
Yeah, we're doing a private party tomorrow, and somehow this link got set out.
What?
And we're over capacity, so somebody getting left outside.
What? Damn. Wait, so start. Okay, well, follow us on Instagram. See how it goes.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this and you plan on coming, please show up on time because I may have to leave some of you outside.
Hey, do it. But, I mean, well, yeah, if you haven't noticed, we are in a new space. Sorry, I had to,
Jake got
avoid
evicted out the
the
old studio.
permit parking area.
Sorry, man, I didn't get it.
What? No, but this is a really nice space. I really do like it. It's very, airy, open.
We got
You hear the birds chirping behind us.
It's a little more cheery. I feel like we're in a Mary Poppins or something like that over here.
Yeah, bright window, bright sky.
I've never seen Mary Poppins.
That's a
I
lie.
don't know if
for
I've
a
seen it
fact that's
fully
your
through.
favorite.
No, I swear to God.
I
never
I
seen
don't
They
think
come
I've
out
ever
with a
seen
new
it
Mary
all the way
Poppins?
through.
No, I did. Never seen none
I
of
think
them.
they're coming out with a new one.
I don't care
the
for
way
them.
they're
I
doing
kinda-
Aladdin and shit.
Yeah.
No, but I
when I say it,
categorize
like-
Mary Poppins with Dumbo, not necessarily my cup of tea.
I've literally never seen.
You know,
a single
Dumbo was one of those
second.
movies. Tell me if I'm wrong. Dumbo was one of those movies. As a kid, people referenced, but anyone ever actually watched Dumbo?
No.
I saw it one time.
Like Pinocchio.
I've
I
never
was
seen a
6.
second of Dumbo.
I saw it one time when I was 6.
Can I tell you?
don't know the
And I
plot of
knew
Dumbo.
then I
just
didn't
know
wanna
was
see it
It was
again.
an elephant that could fly with his
Y'all about
wings,
to look at
right?
me crazy. I've never seen a second of Aladdin.
You said that before, and we were very appalled.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I still haven't forgiven you for Portia for hating on He Got Game. That's still.
Okay. Do we really want to go there again? Because
No, we can
stand
continue.
grounded in that. I stand grounded in that.
Yeah, and we told you why, because you don't have a penis.
Yeah, I guess that's so. But the same way that you all don't like The Notebook.
Yeah.
You don't have a.
I mean,
Cooch. But anywho, yeah. So I'm interested to talk about Aladdin. So I've been just hearing different perspectives of it. So the fact that you haven't seen the cartoon, I don't even know if we can have this.
yeah,
conversation.
I don't know anything about it. I just know that there's a genie who likely grants wishes.
Yeah.
And I literally don't know anything else.
Genie was the genie who
in
granted
all
wishes.
reality, Aladdin is just like Titanic.
Never seen
Storyline
Titanic.
wise,
What?
It's
Okay,
a poor,
explain
it's
that.
Like a poor kid who comes up off some crazy shit and then gets with the woman in royalty that's in the upper class, and then something happens. There's a big conflict, and then they have to find a way to
No.
overcome their differences to
Okay, but Aladdin had a genie. Leonardo
Yeah, the genie
had a smile.
Yeah, but
and
the
stole
genie-
someone's coat.
The genie is the card game. You know what I mean? When he gets the ticket to get on the boat.
Stretch.
I've never seen neither
But
of these
neither one
films.
died icy death in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. That didn't happen in Aladdin.
It's not literal. I'm not saying they're literally the same story. It's like how Avatar and Pocahontas are the same story. You know?
That's very similar, but
I have a random thought. Jake, did you watch Game of Thrones?
Can we not? Yeah. Can we not? Can we
No,
not? Can
we
we
have
not?
to.
No, we can't. No, we don't. Because
Yes,
I
we
haven't
do.
seen it. I haven't seen it.
Like, you haven't seen none of it?
I haven't seen season 7 or the new season yet, so I'm almost there.
At that point, you're just so far behind that anything we say, you're not going to.
It's not going to make
Yes,
sense.
I will. Yes, I will. Can we just not for today?
Okay, can I ask
Can we
you
do
something?
that like offline when I'm leaving, like when I'm gone?
Well,
All right, can we each bring up one point?
No.
One point that will.
Do it, Jake.
No.
Here's my one point.
No.
At what
Say a
point?
name.
At what point did
I will stab you.
these dragons
Okay.
smart enough and conscious enough to understand like human emotions and thought to the point where he would burn the whole?
Okay, you're getting
thing
too
down?
many details. Too many details.
You know what I'm saying? Like what? All of a
I
sudden
have
he was
no
like,
idea.
Should I walk out the room?
I know how to hurt their feelings more than anybody.
I think.
Can I
I'm
ask you a question,
gonna-
Portia?
No.
No, I just want to ask you a question about what you've seen.
Okay.
Who's your favorite person?
Jon Snow.
All right, well, I can tell you he's not dead.
Okay, please don't. Like, don't. Just
You're
don't.
gonna feel differently about it.
All right, so can we like just maybe?
Are y'all seen that
Turn the
Chernobyl
page.
show on HBO? That shit kind of crazy.
What is that
too.
about?
It's about Chernobyl, you know, in Ukraine, 1983 or 5 or some shit, like the nuclear.
Because it
reactor.
just started this season, right?
Yeah, but the nuclear reactor, like
This is going to be a TV episode of this show.
yeah, maybe. But
TV and film.
things for after Game of Thrones. But no, that shit was fucking crazy
Oh.
because it's like that was like the nuclear. The way they shoot it and shit, it doesn't seem like something that would be like real intense every episode, but each episode's like an hour, and it's fucking crazy. Like
Wait,
So I
this
should
is
start
this
this.
is the spinoff of Game of Thrones.
no, this is a
No,
true
this is a
story that
different
happened in
story.
Russia.
Is this just like an anthology
Totally
series?
different.
It's like one of those miniseries. So I think they're doing like 4 or 5 episodes or something
Okay.
like that. But yeah, that shit, it's crazy. That's
But
really
one thing I will chime in then, though on Game of Thrones, if they did a spinoff,
I don't want to see that shit.
if they did one,
They
a
are doing
storyline. I know, but like if they went with this storyline, which I would hope they would do, because
So
I
you
would
can
love
give,
it.
You can give your alternate storylines, but me and Sean can't give our alternate storylines.
You give your alternate, but not what actually happened, based off of what, not an alternate based off of what's already happened. So here's
A lot of
my
rules
idea.
on this conversation.
It is follow them. So my idea of a perfect storyline would be the backstory to the White Walker.
That's what they're doing.
Is that it?
That's the next thing they're doing. It's
Oh,
it goes
okay.
back like 1,000 years or something to how that world came to be.
Oh, see, I thought it was the story like from the perspective exclusively of like White Walker is Jon Snow and
No,
how he
it's like-
became the White Walker.
No, I think if I understand it, it's like the prequel. So it's like before the wall was built and all the castles and shit, and it was like how that all came to be and how the White Walkers first, like they're telling the pre-story.
I mean, I get it, but I'm saying exclusively from the
Yeah.
White Walker because he was a man just like all of
Yeah,
us.
fuck the White Walkers though, because they did. Oh, see, we can't.
Can't
Can't
talk to you.
right? 'cause-
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you this.
Kinda killing the
This isn't a
conversation a little
spoiler
I
at
am.
all, but I'm telling you this. If you have any excitement for this last season, throw it out the window.
If you have any
Her-
excitement for White Walkers specifically, throw it out the window.
I heard.
And
I
the
heard
one
it was
thing I can
bad.
tell you is episode 4 is probably the best episode of TV I've ever sat through in my life.
The battle.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's just
All right, yeah, we can't.
go on to something else.
Let's here. Another. The only other thing I've really watched on television other than that is NBA playoffs. You've been
Yeah.
watching. We've been talking about this a lot.
See, I
Kevin
can chat about
Durant
this.
does not have an Achilles tendon in his leg right now. and
No.
Everybody is just fronting so hard on this. Have you seen anyone like Stephen A. Smith? Anybody talk about the fact
No
that
one
he
wants to-
definitely has
yeah.
a torn Achilles tendon?
No one wants to tell it.
Wait, so this guy's playing on a
No, he's not
injury?
playing. So he
Like someone tears their Achilles is really easy to tell.
yeah,
Like,
and he
you
had
can
all
tell.
the signs
Yeah.
of. So essentially, this is how you know you tear your Achilles. Let's say if you're playing basketball, you're running, and you feel a pop in the back of your leg that almost feels like somebody kicked you.
Like, that's
and
what everyone says.
That's what everybody says. It feels like someone kicks
And
you.
you look back, like everyone looks
And you
back.
look back.
Like,
Right. You kind of look back like, damn, why you kick me, bro? And no one's there. So
This happened on television?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you can
again.
see, I'm going to show you the footage of it. So,
So he gets like he turns to run and he's by himself, and all of a sudden he looks back like he got kicked, and then he can't walk anymore.
and everybody tells, like, that's
what Kobe
exact-
looked like. Yeah.
That's what happened with Kobe. Everybody says that's exactly how it happens.
Wait, so is he denying? I'm confused. Like, is he
So
denying
they're
it?
not. Since he's in the playoffs, they can basically win without him because it's the Golden State Warriors. So they let him sit out, and they just keep saying it's a calf strain. They just won't say that he did it because if he did, it changes like everything in the NBA for the next year.
Why is that?
Damn near for the next decade.
Yeah.
Why is that?
He's
Because
the
the-
best player after LeBron.
Yeah,
Arguably better or equal to LeBron.
And with that, his contract is up, and he was supposed to go to New York and get a $200 million contract to bring the Knicks back. And then now it's like you don't know how someone
Kyrie's
comes back.
Kyrie might be going to the Lakers now.
Right.
Like,
And you don't know
All
how,
based on this potential injury.
yeah, this guy could change the whole league. Just
and you don't know how someone comes back off an Achilles injury.
yeah.
Let me see.
Because Kobe didn't come back. I'm trying to get it, but
I
my
mean, he
computer
did.
just he came back, but he didn't come
It's
back.
Kobe,
Like,
though.
yeah,
I mean,
it
Kobe
was
tore his Achilles and then shot 2 free throws afterwards, which is like
That's
one of the most
different.
impressive things ever.
But you know, I don't think it was that impressive.
I mean, but hey,
I mean, just
look,
the fact that he went out and shot 2 free throws.
I mean, yeah,
yeah. Like,
but like the actual act of shooting the free throw wasn't like that.
No, but
impressive.
like I wouldn't walk back out on the court. I'd be done. I'd just be like, I'd need like a gurney. You gotta like put me on the bed, wheel me off. I'm done.
what was
That's
that
it.
movie with Queen Latifah and Common? He played for the New York Knicks.
What was that movie?
He came
Just
back.
Right.
He came back.
Just right.
It was
He came
called
back.
Just Right.
I'm just saying, he came back.
Yeah, but he's common. He's also like.
I would love a sequel to that movie.
Do you guys think?
No.
No, that's.
I would.
It would be awesome if that universe somehow got like.
painful. I like the movie.
What if you had the sequel to that movie that was also the sequel to Like Mike and like the
Hell
characters from Like
no.
Mike then interact.
they have a like Mike
You
sequel.
know what I'm saying? But if those two
It's
universes
terrible. It
came
went straight to
together.
VHS.
If you took all the weird 2000s basketball movies and combined them into one movie for a sequel, I think it would be amazing.
No.
Wait, Jake, what was your favorite movie growing up as a kid? Can I guess?
See, look. So he comes down, and then he starts running away. Oh, fuck. Fucking fuck.
Sorry, hold on, guys. I'm catching up on Sports Center.
But yes, Jake, your favorite movie as a kid. You see, he turns around and looks like
Like as a child?
what happened, and yeah, he tore his ACL. But nobody will admit that's what it is.
Ah.
So you'll see it again. Like he turns around, he starts running, and then he turns around like, "Who kicked me?" But no
what
one's
would
there
have?
to
But
kick
what
you.
would have caused it
It's
though?
injury.
You know this thing in the back of your ankle?
Yeah, it like
That
rolls
just
up.
Snaps.
Yeah.
So it just,
I mean, but that wouldn't ruin a career though, would it?
Yeah,
you can't move your foot.
because a lot of people don't. We haven't seen
You
many
can make
people
it. I
come
mean,
back
but you
from
can
it.
make.
No,
yeah.
you can't. I mean, like doing.
Okay,
this.
so who do you all think is gonna win the championship?
I don't know.
I honestly was feeling like the Bucks had a shot,
And now they look
like,
terrible.
Kawhi's just too good.
But the Bucks really look like LeBron's early teams.
No, I mean they. Well, I think they're actually better.
Remember when-
because he like
Yeah, they're better.
Chris Middleton and
They're
like,
better.
Bledsoe.
But it really looks like
They have
remember
a really nice starting.
remember how it was like when LeBron was running through the East when he was very
But
young.
those teams were trash.
They
too.
were trash, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, but like it was like if you neutralize LeBron, then no one else can do shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of like it is right now with them.
I
Like
don't know why they weren't playing Siakam on him the whole time.
I don't know,
Yeah.
because like now it's like they neutralize Giannis and the rest of them can't do shit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the ironic thing is in the last round, I think that was the opposite. Like, Giannis was getting his shots and everything, but they were spreading it around everybody,
Yeah.
everyone else. Like, Chris Middleton was having games in that series, but
But if I had to pick who's going to win it all, and if it comes down to Toronto and the Warriors, I don't know. I just don't. I would probably just go with Toronto because of Kawhi
I-
being a grown man.
well, let's talk about this though. 'Cause
I'd
this is
probably
an
go with
underlying
Toronto just
factor
because
this
of
whole
Drake.
Series that kind of falls into pop culture, but what do you think about Drake's involvement in this?
That's what I was
whole
about to
thing?
say.
Yeah.
I'll
I
go for
think
Toronto
he's
just because of
fucking-
Drake.
He's amazing.
But it's getting a little much.
No, it's not.
No, he's sitting courtside going
Bro, he,
crazy
like
like
rubbing dudes'
anybody
shoulders
would.
and shit. Like,
Come on, we're talking about Spike Lee, who stood on the court and looked at Reggie Miller and put his hands around his throat.
yeah, but he didn't touch anybody. You know what I
What?
mean? Like,
He could have, if he wanted to, he would have.
No, but I think that Drake is amazing because just off the simple fact of what was the other team's owner's daughter who wore a shirt
Oh,
with
she wore
Push
the
on her
Pusha T
face.
shirt. Shout out,
that was-
And
that
his
was a smooth
reaction
move,
to
though.
it, his reaction to it was even better. He made her his profile picture on Instagram.
Yeah, Drake is a savage.
So I'll still pay for you to get in OVO Fest.
Yeah, no, like I want to see. Do you know how entertaining it would be for the first game of the NBA Finals in Toronto, and Drake is sitting courtside while Steph Curry's trying to shoot threes? That's fucking must see TV.
that's the thing. I mean,
Or
that's
him
why
and
the-
Draymond Green arguing. Like,
It is why the NBA is like
That
easily
shit
the
is
best,
perfect.
the best league. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not getting that in the NFL.
No.
Like,
You know, but I can also say another one of my favorite things in culture sports this week was that little baby filter that people kept
God.
putting on
Put up
Shaq.
Stephen A. Smith and
Yeah.
Shaq. And, oh God.
yo, Stephen A. Smith is something else, man. That guy. I think it's hilarious that they keep trying to make him. I think I said this on the basketball podcast last week, but I think it's funny they keep trying to make him do other sports that he knows nothing
He
about.
knows nothing about.
Wait, what do
They
you
were
mean?
showing
Why
his-
would they
Like
do
they
that?
put Stephen
So
A.
he's
Smith
like-
on for football,
Yeah.
and he don't be knowing shit.
Like,
He be
literally-
saying the most generic thing
They
ever.
had like his worst highlights the other day, and it was like one of them was he was talking about like, oh yeah, there was a football game coming on. I was like, yeah, these guys, my top picks for top performers today are like, yeah, I don't know, like 4 guys' names. And then like the other guys were like, it's like 5 minutes before the game starts too, right? Like you could all this, who's playing, who's not at this point. The guys all looked at him like, hey, that
dude retired.
Like none of those guys are playing in this game. They're all hurt or traded.
But see, and that's terrible because why wouldn't they give that opportunity to someone else?
Like journalism. The kids who went to journalism school and graduated somewhere between like 2012 and 2014, and they've just been like out here hustling, looking for.
The reason
have a lot of on-screen talent, can really talk into a mic.
The thing with ESPN is that they're really based around their flagship people, because like
but they also. They also fired like
everybody,
all the people. Who were pushing
they did go through that whole entire like
what's her name?
Release.
I'm tweaking on her name.
Jamila
Hill, right?
Yeah, Jamila Hill.
She was pushing them forward. The guy who just bought him, I guess, there was a story in the New Yorker this week about how he's just whitewashing it and making it like non-controversial and like stuff like that. Yeah,
he doesn't want it to be political. He a culture feel.
You will. I just think it's important to have precautions or know your team and when they're excluding your people who tell your story. And like I spoke on a panel last week where they were talking about, do you feel like Chicago media supports Chicago artists, right? Mm-hmm. So I got hit with that question.
Do you feel like Chicago media supports Chicago media?
Well, that's a different thing.
Do you think Chicago artists look to come to Chicago media?
True, but that's what I'm saying.
To me, I think having come up in Chicago media, I feel as though Chicago media doesn't give enough opportunities to people, and therefore you don't have outlets. You know what I mean? And therefore the artists don't want to go to outlets. So it's like
but that's what I'm saying is that, well, to tie it all together, the whole Jamila tweet about Halle Berry, carpet, black correspondents, and then black correspondents and media getting looked over, is that I feel as though sometimes with artists, I think it goes back and forth as far as artists disassociating with media once they reach a certain level, because then sometimes the artist will feel too good for a certain media outlet that's too low. But then also you have those media outlets are the ones that are supporting you at the beginning of your career. Well, so it's not necessarily does media support our artists, or
well, that's why you don't have blogs anymore, because like you don't have nearly as many blogs you did 10 years ago, right?
No.
Because if you think about like there's always an era in like the NBA, like when Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley all retired, then it was like the Allen Iversons, and then after them, it's, you always have like a generational thing. And I think if you looked at like the J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, like down to like Danny Brown and Mac Miller and like Wiz Khalifa,
Danny Brown?
like all that generation of artists that now are like the J. Cole, like all the people at the top that we're like, we look up to, even Drake, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all started in that blog era, but the blog era was going to die had a short like shelf life, because at a certain point, those people were going to get bigger than the blogs, and like the relationship changes. Like once you surpass the blog, or you have more followers than the blog does,
You don't need it anymore.
Now they need you. You don't need them. You know. And now the relationship gets fraught because there's a misunderstanding of that. And I think that's what you saw happen with one after another website all over the internet.
I mean, but let's bring it back to Chicago. So
what happened in Chicago? I mean, there's plenty of websites.
But I mean, but the thing is, we have websites. But like, I got hit with the question of, does Chicago media not support Chicago artists? And
I'm going to say yes and no.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said
Windy
that
City
it depends.
Live, like the Reader,
right, but we don't. But other than like your local TV show stations, which are the biggest networks, radio stations, like they're talking about like
Britt Julius or
well, I mean, like I guess like
Rhodey just wrote about Lily K in the Tribune last week.
Well, let's see. Like let's name a few local places. You have like Underground or Windy City Underground, which is a radio station. You have Urban Grind TV. You have What's the Word. You have.
But do you feel?
I think.
That's what I'm saying. It
do you
depends.
feel as though those are on the level of a Reader and
no?
So that's the thing. I think is that
there's
not hating on anything.
I'm saying, but there's a cap.
There's a disconnect. I think between the Reader and the ones you just said.
But I think there's also an issue of
like
people
the Tribe.
look at.
The Tribe is somebody I think does a really good job as an independent outlet.
Mm-hmm.
They kill it. They have great stories. Yeah. Like they really have like a really nice journalistic backbone to what they do, and I think that allows them to do a lot more stuff. So like there's somebody I think actually is doing a really good job.
But I think
on just like news.
But I think there's the issue that people expect to be like, why can't I get on WGCI, or why can't I walk up to
Power 92,
ABC 7? And people don't understand that those are owned by big box organizations.
But also you can't do that in New York either.
I mean, I get that, but even with that, still there's like so where you have that. Then you have people who will value going somewhere else before going home first. So it's like, oh, how do I get this company in New York to look at me? Well, why not go to the one at home first to before, and build your own thing there. And you can still go to the one outside too, but it's like build at home and away.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
I feel like local
artists. There's blame to pass around everywhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, it's just, I think that, like you said, like, you have, what's his name? Juice WRLD, right? So he was actually blowing up, I think, outside of Chicago before Chicago even got a hold of it.
He's like, when we thought Chance was a fast one, he was like the fastest.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, what about Cowboy?
Huh?
Cowboy.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's like, from being there, it seemed as though a lot of artists were saying they feel like Chicago media outlets don't support them as much. But then,
well, I mean, Cowboy's what, on Atlantic?
Yep.
Yeah, he just got signed.
Like shout out Guap, who's doing that whole deal, but he's on Atlantic.
I ain't seen Guap in a minute.
I know he's killing it.
Yeah,
shout out Guap.
He's doing work.
But like he got him a deal with Atlantic, and like that is gonna give you all the it's gonna push you into an East Coast thing.
Is that deal through Dream Chasers?
I don't know.
Because Meek push it like it's through Dream Chasers.
But I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's immediately going to the East Coast. Like, Atlantic doesn't really have a presence in Chicago like that. You know what I mean? Like, the way they do it in L.A. and New York. So, and that's where the media is. There is no media here. We don't have, like
we have freelancers or people who like editors, but a lot
of
times
they also cleaned out a lot of the desks that would have been ours 10 years ago, and they gave them to people who are 40, 50 years old who are still sitting in those desks.
I don't know about y'all, but I liked it. Don't nobody know I'm here.
Right, because that's the thing. You know how many people be sliding in your inbox? I'm sure people already do.
No, not for real. I think it's because I keep a low profile about that I'm here.
That's right. I've been giving out cards with your name, face. That's
all right, buddy.
Man, but one thing. So Kyle
Fuck
Santillion.
Your 10%.
Kyle Santillion was also on the panel, and one thing he said, like, shook the room. Like, shook it. Everybody just, like, you heard gasp. And he was like, but a lot of times what nobody has said on this panel is that 90% of what we receive is trash.
Wait, quick pause. Shout out to Kyle, because I drunkenly sent him a message last night.
What did you send Kyle?
So Kyle
he's actually like
Kyle is in Aruba right now or somewhere.
Living his best life.
And he was like, he had on his Instagram story all these images of him like on the beach getting these pictures off. And I sent him a message like, you better be bad on the beach. Get his body off. I sent him some drunk shit. He did. Me and Kyle talk every once in a while, just on some random, how you living, bro? And oh God, that was hilarious. I'm sorry.
No, but he said what he said to shook the room was like, but what a lot of people don't realize is that 90% of what we receive is trash.
Shit, that's low. 95% of what we get is trash.
What?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so the thing that artists don't realize is how many emails like anybody who does anything.
Oh, dog.
Yeah.
Like I still get emails from like websites I wrote for 5 years ago. People saying like, "Hey, man, I need to get on Double XL. I'm like, bro, I haven't written for Double XL.
What they say? Hey, man.
Yeah, it's like some bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah. And they don't understand the politics of it. So like.
Well, for me,
yeah.
my career, I was focused on people in my orbit right around me. I wasn't like chasing like the SoundCloud or like someone who just hit 1 million or something like that. It was usually if you're like in my orbit and I like the story and stuff, I would write about it. So I get hit up by people like, hey, I got a hot new single. Will you write a feature story about me and come interview like all da.
Yeah, and then don't even have
like,
a project. Don't even
like,
got nothing coming after it. I mean, but
you
like
read all my work, you know what I mean? Like this isn't like at all about. So they just kind of blast out and then they get like frustrated when you're not like sincere, which I think is weird. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and that was also brought up. But another thing is just like I think there's politics to it that a lot of artists don't realize. For instance, when we were shooting for Revolt and stuff, anybody we were cool with and knew, we recorded your interview. We interviewed. We got some words from you. And then we would put it in the package, but we had little to no say-so of what aired, what was published, or what they posted to social media. So a lot of times, I think, especially in Chicago's market, where we don't have those headquarter offices here, it's hard to like say what gets published and what goes up and what doesn't.
I think that's a very good point. I think Chicagoans don't have control over the narrative a lot. Like you saw those shitty Vice documentaries that came out, like
about Chicago,
making Joey Perp and Vic look like they were like fucking like the biggest gang members in the world or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it wasn't true. I think like that's I think the been the problem for Chicago for years. Like New York and like California and different places co-opting the narrative from Chicago and like blasting it out elsewhere. That's why like Lena Waithe doing The Shy is cool. And like telling on stories from Chicago.
Ooh,
let's talk about Jason Mitchell.
Do we want
As
to
it
talk
came
about
out of my
that?
mouth, I already knew
It.
like the response I was gonna get. I just said it was cool that she's doing it. All right.
No, I love what she's doing with The Shy, but I think you're about to take it to where I was about to take it.
Wrap the show
Another
up, bro.
thing.
Wrap the show up. Wrap it up.
Do we want to go there?
Wrap it up. Like no, like literally, why are we still going now?
Oh, The Shy.
Yeah, because
The storylines are
With
getting like.
wait.
No. Like
No,
the
you talking
story,
about
like
with Jason Mitchell?
Yeah, like it's no point now because
I think it's still a point. I think that
it's no.
he is the main character. He is. But
Everything revolves around his world. And not only did he leave, Tiffany Boone, the actress who plays Jericho.
Who are you talking about?
Okay, so basically, you didn't know what
Wait, I'm
happened?
sorry, what happened?
What are you talking about?
You haven't heard
So
what
you heard
happened?
about...
No, I haven't heard what happened. I just watched the show.
Okay, so Jason
Oh.
Mitchell early. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay, all right. So Jason Mitchell, the star of the show,
He's the
he
cook, right?
Yeah, he's
yeah.
the cook. So basically, this week, a lot of shit happened this week.
Well, that dude's been getting mad work since that shit.
No,
came out.
he ain't
exactly.
getting no more work now.
Look,
Wait,
he got,
what happened? What happened?
Listen,
Fuck.
he
I'm
got
so in the
dropped
dark.
from both of his labels or both of his agencies.
His
dropped him.
representation dropped
He got
him.
What'd he
got
do?
fired.
I mean, one thing.
Yeah,
Damn
sexual
near.
assault,
No.
sexual assault accusations. So he's been.
I did not see any of this.
Yeah, allegedly he's done a lot of different.
I'm going to let her tell the
harmful
real
things.
shit, and I'm going to tell it the nigga way.
Okay, basically he's done a ton of sexual harassment things to his cast and other people in very inappropriate behavior. So within the same day, within hours of the announcement, he was dropped from both of his agencies. He was dropped from The Shy, as well as a Netflix movie that he was the lead role
I was
in.
gonna say, he's
he
been
got the
popping
lead
up
role,
in all
and
sorts
he's
of
been
shit
dropped
lately.
from all of those. And apparently, the
Whoa.
girl who plays his girl on The Shy, what's
Tiffany
her name?
Boone.
Tiffany Boone. She was the main one. She said that he would be very inappropriate and aggressive on set to the point where whenever they shot a film or had a scene together, she would have to have her husband on set just to monitor it.
Whoa.
So his career
Damn, I'm
has
tweaking.
just
This just happened
exploded.
yesterday?
Like
Like
last week. Monday, Tuesday.
Wow,
something
I
like
didn't
that.
see anything.
So,
like
yo,
this. Fuck.
so I'm going to tell you the real shit. We're going to talk about... She gave you
Alright.
the journalistic way of
Alright.
breaking this down.
I mean, well, that's what
Yo,
we know. What do you
so
know?
Portia
though?
said allegedly.
Allegedly.
The way I'm going to let you know right now, your representation don't drop you off allegedly. Yeah. They know some shit.
Yeah.
They know it. And he got dropped from his Netflix movie, from The Shy. Like, there is no investigation.
Like they haven't
Yeah.
investigated anything.
There ain't no
but because
investigation.
they have to say allegedly because it hasn't been proven. But if you know and you don't even want to go as far to prove it, then yeah. But dropped from
that's crazy.
both. But he was signed to two
I
different
was gonna
agencies.
say from just hearing about this at this moment. That's crazy because I was
Wild.
literally like watching it. Like I've seen him pop up in so many like
Yeah.
little movies
Yeah.
and TV shows.
He
I was
was
like,
in
damn, this like I was
Superfly.
kind of proud guy. I was like, damn, he's really coming up right now.
So with that said,
Whoa,
with that
damn.
said, I love the show. I've been watching it faithfully. But if he's not going to be there, nor is Jerica, why are we doing this show?
I think they could find a replacement for him and continue the storyline.
Was the last episode wasn't the finale, right?
Nah.
So
it's 4 more episodes in this season.
So it's kind of like wherever they leave this.
Well, they're gonna finish off the season.
And the thing is, it's already filmed.
But who knows? Because in that show, the way it's going right now, it seems like dude's getting set up to be like dropped out of the situation.
Wait, but here's the thing though. They're gonna air the remaining season 2. They're gonna finish it out. But he will not return for season 3.
But I'm saying, if you watch that storyline, he's being set up right now to not be.
I know, but they've already recorded it to however it ends.
No, but he's saying if he gets arrested at the end of season 2, then you can write him out as that nigga's in jail.
The whole storyline right now is him getting set up.
I mean,
by that other guy
don't wrap. I mean, well, then keep the shot going. I say don't wrap the show.
Maybe they knew the whole time, and that's why they set him up like this.
No, the thing is, like, the reason why I say you end up having to wrap this show is because it's his world. Everything is his world, literally.
Like, I mean, you don't think another
don't have him, then you like my.
Yeah, but you don't think there's another character whose storyline can carry?
No.
Well, the only other one you have really is the old
guy,
Emmett, and he's awful.
And
I hate that character.
Like I don't care enough about Ronnie for this show to keep going.
You know what? Everything about that. Hold on, can we focus on him for a moment? Like that character is just like, yo, man, why is your voice so raspy?
And yeah, like I don't care
enough.
He's like
the epitome of a cat daddy.
No, here's the thing. I don't care enough about Ronnie for this show to continue. But with that said, why do we even know who Ronnie is? Because he killed Jason Mitchell's character's brother.
Right.
So we have no reason.
That was the pilot.
So we have no reason to follow his whole little story about his murder and all of that if we don't even have a brother for it to affect anymore.
They have to replace him. They can't write him out. Like it's.
I think the show would do well if you find a replacement for Jason Mitchell.
I think the only way
it'll
you
be
can
fine.
do it is if you did have it set up so he gets arrested at the end of this, he gets fucked up, and then like it just pivots to like the younger kids or something like that.
But then it's like their kid, the younger kids' live ain't that great. Like
honestly, the Jake character is probably the best.
Jake is the best one. Yeah. Jake is the only one who really has stakes. Papa's there to make us laugh.
Yeah, but Jake's like the only one who like is really.
Papa's the funniest motherfucker on TV, by the way.
No. I like him.
Yeah, no, Papa's the funniest nigga on TV, period. But yeah, like I
don't think it should rap. But the thing is, I just don't understand why these people like I don't care. Like, why haven't you learned a lesson? Like, why would you continue to go down a path and continuously act on something where you know it's going to be detrimental to your career?
Like, what? He's probably like 32.
Probably
something around that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so he's like around. He's an adult, is what I'm saying.
You can take the nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga.
Yeah, but hold on. Like, if you watch Desus and Mero?
I haven't.
All
right, so if you watch like the new Showtime shit, anytime like Mero always say some crazy shit, and then Desus always be like, "Shut the fuck up! We're trying to keep this show." You know what I mean? Like joking, but he's always kind of like looking around nervous, like no.
He's actually exactly 32.
So wow, that was pretty good.
So anyway, like if you're in that position, if you're like that's a funny thing where Desus is aware of his position. And he's like, yo, we gotta like watch our mouths because we're not trying to lose the show, you know?
Yeah.
In a joking manner, like, but for the other people, if you're an actor and you're a 32-year-old male actor who has just seen like so many people get in trouble for this,
right?
And you already probably had an idea that you were involved in that. You know what I mean? It's not like it just popped up one day and you're like, now I'm doing this. It's probably been a pattern of behavior. You wouldn't report hit the break. It's like you wouldn't. You don't have the conscious of mind.
They did report he got flagged for it before.
Yeah, so it's been a thing. So he's probably aware that it's a thing, and he kept doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just like how.
And it's kind of like no one else, but then it's like where are your friends?
I'm
where
sorry,
are your people?
I get frustrated at that too because it's like how stupid are you? Like,
to keep doing it, especially at the point where you know her man, she's bringing her husband to the set.
Right.
But that makes me feel some type of way.
Give her the mic. Give her the mic. Guys, this is Marylise.
She's alive.
Hi guys, but if the cast and crew is seeing that she's being harassed, why wouldn't they bring her like some special security or something? Like, why does she have to bring her fiance? That's bogus.
Yeah.
Like, she shouldn't have to be in that work environment every day.
Yeah.
Like,
in 2016, he was accused of body slamming a woman at a hotel in Boston.
What?
Wow.
That was the other thing he did. And he was banned from the hotel, but he did not face.
That's one of the crazy things to me is like when some of these people get caught, like, and you go back through their history, and it's like there's like he body slammed a woman.
There were signs.
I'm pretty sure if I body slammed a woman, that would be it for me professionally. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't have enough like clout and shit to like
cover that
get
up.
through like body slamming a woman. That would be pretty much the end of anything I did.
Has he
but he
posted
could go on to
anything?
get like on the shy and all, you know what I mean? Like,
but it's like you've been You've been lucky thus far.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
how we. That's how
Would
we
you
get that
just
way.
like,
But
okay,
you know-
I made it. Let me stop.
But you know another
know?
thing that this reminds me of.
Getting away with it, you know.
But the thing that this reminds me of, especially if it's like a love interest on a show, where else have we seen this where that was the demise of the entire sitcom?
No, House of Cards.
Martin.
Oh.
Martin and Gina had a very similar issue that no one knew. It was taking place on the back end. This is before social media. And because of their breakup, or like what was happening behind the scenes between them, that caused the demise of an entire series.
I really hope like this isn't the end of the Shy.
I don't know. It's just like people have demons and you never know what their demons are, but it's up to them to decide. Like they have the responsibility of like, think about all the different careers, all people working on the show in Chicago, all the people are about to lose their job if this show plummets.
Not only that, but also what we were just talking about. It's one of the only shows that are really telling stories from the point of view of Chicago. It might not be a great perspective. It might not always be the right perspective, but like that's what he really did is he took away a voice for the city.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's the most authentic sitcom or
Like I would say
any type of commentary that I've seen
The
on
Chi,
Chicago.
Easy. There's maybe like the Chicago ones, Fire Department, like Chicago. Those aren't really
national.
Like,
yeah, those are national.
those aren't really
it could be.
true to
It could be
life stuff,
anywhere.
right?
Those could take. It could be in
I would say
YPD.
those two shows off the top of my head are probably like the two realest Chicago.
Wait, which two? I'm sorry.
Like Easy and The Chi.
I've never seen Easy.
I've never
Easy's
seen
like
Easy
less
either.
like a South Side thing, more like like just the city, like living down here, Logan Square, like going places and doing. But it's like people from all walks of life and shit.
But the Shy
But I
is
just
the
think they're
only
the most
one.
those combined can take view of the city. But
Yeah, like the scenes in the Shy where they just have the clucks sitting on porches, not clucks, but like the guys just sitting on porches. I was
"Damn,
driving
niggas
down.
can't sit outside their house no more when I'm in the club."
Well, you know what I mean. Like they just got them little lawn chairs and stuff. And every time I drive through the hood, I'd be like, Lena did that. She represented that very well. Cause it's just like yeah, and it just sucks that it comes down to casting the wrong person. Like he's the perfect person to play this role, but the wrong character in real life to just weigh it all on.
It's crazy because he's from New Orleans, but he's so skilled that that doesn't come out in the show. Like
no, not at all. Yeah.
In the show, he seems like a legit Chicagoan. I mean, except for when what did they say last week? Like he grew up on like 63rd and Yates. Like, oh, okay, so you live in the water, but that's cool. But
People live in the water.
it's so if they were able to replace him, like who
would
could
take it?
embody like?
I think they would need to come out with a up and coming artist who does not have a name yet, because then we wouldn't have anything to compare any other work to compare them to. We would know they would fall into this role, and we would know them for that.
Lena Waithe, if you're.
I was gonna say Sean Grant.
Sean
Grant, low key, kind of.
You need a replacement.
Get a couple neck tats. We might be able to pull this off.
Hey yo, if you need a replacement, I mean, I'll show up.
He's about 9 inches taller than that guy probably, but
that makes me more of a sex symbol. It makes me more eye catching.
You're gonna have to zoom out all the shots more than you did for him, but
all the women that are watching like, oh yeah, no, like
you know what? I will say the only other reason I respected that guy before finding this out was that he was doing this all with a pretty large belly on him. Like it's not like.
Yeah, my guy got a little gut on him.
He was that good at acting that he was
had
like,
a little gut.
I got a pot belly and I'm doing this shit right now.
And I didn't care. I was like, man, look. I was like, he has a beautiful girlfriend on TV. He gonna get his life together eventually.
He's eating real good, like.
Man, but like just speaking of shows and like the future of them being not questioned, but the future of the shows being unknown. Can we also touch on, because we haven't had a show since this happened either, but the passing of John Singleton. Oh, yeah, so he was the creator of currently one of my favorite series on television right now, and it's Snowfall on FX.
Well, that's like
I love Snowfall. I love Snowfall. With Damson Idris talking about actors portraying he's from Britain.
They're not really doing. I mean, that story's not being told that great on that show, but like that actual story is crazy as fuck. Like Freeway Ricky Ross, like getting given like tons of crack cocaine from Nicaragua to sell to like people in the streets.
Yeah,
it's a wild story and also really hard to tell. But also you can't tell it because the guy who broke that story like 20 years ago worked for the San Jose Mercury News, and he after he broke that story, he was found. They said he killed himself with 2 gunshots to the back of the head. I don't know how you shoot yourself twice in the back of the head.
Twice. Wow.
After you uncovered a CIA cover-up and shit.
Yeah, but see, I think that the first 2 seasons of the series was just setting it up. The end of the second season, the second season, but it's a good story. I think the first season, I did enjoy the first season better than the second one, but the second one leads into okay, this is about to get heavy. What? I love it, and then it's just that
I didn't make it through the first one.
Really, I've been keeping up with this show. It is. I like it. I think Damson, it just does a great job playing a kid from Southern California.
That kid is a great actor.
He's from London.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's from England. Yeah, he's from London. He has a whole British accent. But now I'm just not worried, but yes, we have season 3 complete, but then what's season 4 going to look like without John Singleton?
Looks like canceled.
Yeah, I don't think they probably not doing it.
See, all these shows.
I think it was wild how he passed away.
Yeah,
that was a rough month for LA, low-key. I mean, to lose John Singleton and Nipsey in 1 month is two legendary.
Was it the same? No, it wasn't the same.
Not the same month, but I think it was within a month's time. I don't think it was that far off. And that's 2 iconic generational people from that community that left very quickly. Very quickly, out of nowhere. John Singleton was fine one day, and then all of a sudden
he just had a stroke.
Yeah.
And then he was on life support, and it was kind of just that up in the air feeling of do we mourn? Yeah.
Well, even the day he died, it was one of those things where they're still saying he was alive and shit and
Well, you had all the artists going to visit him, going to see him, probably because internally they probably were telling people yeah, it's not great. Come see him if you can, but not publicly.
Very similar to the conversations people are having with Kevin Durant right now. I think come see him. He's not walking really. It's not as good as we're telling people.
So, before we wrap, I got one more show that's actually announced they're wrapping.
Ooh.
Is there anything that you are looking forward to? And I don't know if Jake watches, but he may. If anybody's
why you exclude Jake?
I don't know. Yeah.
He might. I don't know. I don't want to, anybody excited or have any predictions for the last season of Power?
I don't watch Power. I'll give you that.
Wow.
Good. Don't start. Don't start.
Nah, I watched the first season. I
really like Power, and I think that it is nice for them to wrap with, was it season 6?
Mm-hmm.
I think it is a good wrap because I think that last season was dragging.
How many seasons have they done of Empire?
5.
Too many.
This was season 5.
So this is about to be. They're about to wrap.
Yes,
they're about to
Empire's
wrap
wrapping too.
So do you not feel as though I always felt like Power was just 50 cents, him trying to be petty to Empire?
It was
it was
better.
Power.
No, but I'm just saying
Power
they came out at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did. But Power,
because
Power was on Stars, they were able to do and show everything that Empire couldn't.
That's what I'm saying. It just always felt but it's funny that they're both rapping after 6 seasons.
Damn, now that we're actually having this conversation, it's interesting because when it was the last time that this happened where black series, black TV, black comedy shows were at an all-time high, and then kind of at the same time, they all fell off the map. 90s.
Yeah.
90s.
The 90s.
So it's it's kind of happening right now when you think about it.
If you also think about it, 1998 was about the time that, what was it? 2002, 2004? 2000? No, fuck it. 2000.
That was the end. 2000 was
but that was also when we got rid of Clinton, and then we got Bush years for 8 years. So now we're in these we're 3 years into Trump time, and you see
Trump's canceling all our black TV, motherfucker.
He's taking away honestly, I feel culturally and creatively, everything's just in a weird place right now.
But that's interesting.
It's just exhausting. That's such a good way to put it.
But are you all seeing the trend though? Because we just talked about it. I haven't had a conversation where it all came together like it is. But it's all different scenarios. Okay, so back in the 90s, you had the Wayans brothers who just got canceled without a finale, without anything. They just got up and unplugged. You had Moesha, you had the Parkers, you had Girlfriends, you had One on One, you had Martin, you had Sisters. No, well, that was more of the family friendly. But you had Girlfriends, you had Martin, you had what was the one with Kyla Pratt? That was One on One. Half sisters or something with the 2 sisters who were half sisters, half and half. There were so many shows, and they all just.
Well, that all failed because UPN failed.
Yeah.
UPN failed, and that was a wrap for that.
True, but here we are again with the same thing. But within that said,
have y'all ever watched any of those shows again now that you're grown and realize they were kind of trash?
I want to go back.
Laugh track TV, TV with a laugh track behind it.
I want to go back and watch Girlfriends though.
I've never watched Girlfriends.
You know what one of the
so
best old shows is that I was watching? This is random as hell, but like King of the Hill is one of these.
That's just hilarious.
Dude, it's like one of the like I forgot when I was a kid. It was always the show that came on before The Simpsons.
That's like hilarious, dog.
I was just watching because I'm before The
No,
Simpsons.
you need to watch it when you're grown.
No, I know.
That shit's
like,
hilarious.
It's one of the funniest go back and
Oh
watch
my god,
TV
that shit
shows.
is fucking hilarious.
And there's like 15 seasons, so you could just.
That's how I feel about Girlfriends. Like I need to watch it.
I want to watch it
Now that I'm grown, because
okay, yeah, come on, talk to me, girl. Yeah,
we shouldn't have been watching it at the age that we were, so we weren't able to comprehend like a lot of the wild shit that was going on.
Yeah, like I was driving, I was just thinking of like, well, you know, shit. So like I thought of the scene where remember Tony was dating those two dudes? One was wealthy, one wasn't, and then Joan told the unwealthy woman like, well, too bad because she didn't pick you. She picked the other guy. So then, but Tony ended up actually picking the cheap guy. So she took him back, but he found out she was cheating on him. So he told her to go get a pumpkin. We're going to carve it. So she walks in the crib with this big ass pumpkin, and he's freaking a whole nother girl in the living room.
Not freaking.
Keeping and cleaning. And then the girl hops up like, oh, thanks for letting us use your house. And she goes into the shower. But he was doing that as payback. And I just remember thinking like, if I watched that now, if that aired live now, I would have been pissed through the TV.
First off, the main thing that we like don't realize, we want a lot of these shows to come back in like today's era, but a lot of the shit that went on these shows would not fly today.
No.
Like it's a totally different, climate. Social media wasn't around with a lot of that stuff. It's the whole reason everything blows up now. Like,
we could never have BET Uncut.
Ever.
There's no ability to like hide behind anything now. Like that dude 20 years ago we were talking about from the Shy, probably never would have found that out about him. You know what I mean? 20 years ago, like he probably won't find it. But now there's like a public forum for everything.
I mean, but then that's the same thing. Me Too wouldn't and couldn't have
existed.
I mean,
it's literally that there's now a central voice for the entire world to have a conversation. Like makes these things never, you know what I mean? They can't be hidden anymore.
What I would like to make a recommendation for TV for you guys. There's a show called Vita. It'll be in season 2 starting tomorrow. It's on Stars. It's fucking excellent.
Wait, before we go though, are we not gonna acknowledge the fact that they're bringing Empire back? Aren't they bringing it back with Jesse?
Without Jesse.
Without him? I thought he was going to be in the last season.
I thought it was canceled.
It is. This is the last season.
Oh, they're going
to.
So they are writing him out?
Yeah,
they wrote him out.
Yeah, they wrote him out.
Oh, wait. Before we close, too, also broke yesterday. So Jesse's file is being unsealed. A judge voted on it to have it unsealed.
It ain't shit going to be in there.
I don't know. I just think it's interesting. I don't care.
The weirdest, stupidest thing.
I don't care.
I think it sums up Rahm Emanuel's like.
It's a black man that got away with it by the help of a black woman, and everybody like, oh fuck no, we got to stop this.
Well, you know what? Honestly, like Kim Fox is that fits with her character, man. That's fine. Like I think some wins are deserved there, and like she's gotten people out of jail that were there like at the wrong time. She's like overturned like false convictions. Like she's been in there doing real work. So for them to come at her about this,
and it might not have even been her fault. It could have been one of the clergy. And I don't think Jussie Smollett is like worth.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of. I think that's the funny part. Is everyone kind of got to that point. Everyone just kind of threw up their hands, like "Fuck it, dude. We don't even care about you."
Well, like I don't think he's worth the demise of anybody but his own. Like I don't think he's worth taking anyone else down with him other than himself.
I think everybody realized that, and like I don't think Jussie's gonna have a good next decade. You know what I mean? Like, why are we doing this? You're not Michael Jackson or some shit. Like,
yeah, but then also when you think about it, I mean, Empire's ratings have been declining, but
it's still the highest rated show on Fox.
It is, but Jussie Smollett, his one actions, just like Jason Mitchell, has.
They could have kept Empire going.
Yeah.
Because he's not he's not Terrence Howard.
True. Or Taraji P. Henson.
To that point with her then.
Yeah, it's just time.
I hate all this happened, but if this is what it took
to get that shit off TV.
Empire, honestly, Empire's been trashed since like the second or third season.
Yeah.
Like only the first season was like amazing.
That takes me back to the point I was going to make earlier. Power has been trashed for the last 2 seasons too.
It happens though. I mean, we start off with Game of Thrones.
I think the writers just get tired.
I think that's why Netflix is dope, because Netflix doesn't push for more seasons than are necessary. Like they're very good. I was reading a story the other day. They're good at short series. They're good at like whatever.
Not Orange is the New Black.
Well, they're not like. Yeah, that's like that. I think I don't think they're pushing writers to do more seasons than they want. Like I know Easy's done after this season. I kept bringing that up, and you guys haven't seen it, but like they did 3 seasons, he's done, and they're gonna move on to something else. It's like they kind of let people wrap stuff up, and they kind of I don't know. I like the way they do that. Some shit they canceled too early a few years ago, but like
just to put this out here, the tank in ratings of Empire still did 4 million viewers a week, and that was after they tanked.
People.
Another Chicago show that I just thought about, and it's a limited series, so it's just a one and done.
Red Line.
Wait, it was a limited. It was only.
Yeah, it's only one season. But what I like about it, every episode is 2 hours, so you get more than enough.
Oh wow! Because I heard about it, but I hadn't watched it.
It's a great show. It's a really great show.
Does it depict Chicago the way The Chi does?
No.
Oh, well, my bad. There's also another one coming out. It's called like Rhyme or something, or Beats or something like that.
With Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, a bunch of guys. Actually, all our homies from the studio. At the studio, shout out Peasy and the studio, who have been doing some great things. So happy birthday, Kelvin. And Peasy just celebrated his birthday the other day.
That was a whole commercial.
Happy birthday, Peasy. But
didn't the kid go to prom too, and he threw a party?
Yeah,
after
they threw.
prom?
They threw
Artists on the label both were going on prom together.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that shout out to them, but they were very involved with the making of beats, and I think they actually had like some of their producers teaching the guy who's in the show how to make beats. And so you can find Ryan in the background of a few scenes, and Tanel's in there a little bit. So yeah, a bunch of our friends, you can find them in this show that's coming out. I think it's called Beats.
You said with
right?
Anthony.
Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, it's like some kid make beats, and I don't know, something about rap.
Dope.
But yeah,
I was actually there on Wednesday. I was there Wednesday.
All right.
Yeah. Good guys.
Okay. All right. So before we close out, are there any announcements that you all want to make that you all have coming up?
We'll see you tomorrow at this party that all you niggas found out where it's at.
Sean still hasn't invited me to this party.
I did invite you, Jake. Don't lie. You're the one white person I invited.
Come on, represent.
Come on, man. Affirmative action. You are our affirmative action invitee.
It's diverse now.
Oh my God. Okay, well, tune in next time. Hopefully we will have.
Jay gonna be in there like that old white man to be on the vines. They be in there dancing and shit with the black women. Y'all know what I'm talking about, to be in the day parties with like. Yeah, okay.
I know what you're talking about.
We gonna find it now.
I know what you're talking about.
Right, we gotta get
at least don't know.
Yeah. Well, while he pulls that up, we'll check it out afterwards. But yeah, tune in next time. Maybe we'll have Jamal. Maybe we'll be a complete 3-piece meal for you guys. But until then, I'm Portia King. You can follow me at Portia King Media. Okay, this is Sean Grant. You can follow him at Sean X Grant.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this white man in the day
on everything.
Party.
And shout out to our live studio audience member, Marilise. And of course, Jacob.
Yo.
Is your full name Jacob?
It is.
Oh, and the cat, who you never see. But yeah, tune in next week, guys.
See ya.